I see my name in shining lights, yeah, a different city every night. Oh, I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire.
It's time to get down to business on the weekend's #1 business program. Known as the King of Networking, your host, Shalom Klein, has worked with thousands of entrepreneurs and created countless jobs. So, to success. Let's get down to business.
And indeed, we are all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship and business. We talk a lot about business here. You're on with Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you are there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. It's going to be a jam-packed week of content and information you will not want to miss. It's a live show. That means that you can call in with your questions, 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600. I'm streaming this on Facebook Live as well, so feel free to tune in over there. We're powered by our good friends at Tandem HR, your solution center. Check out their website, tandemhr.com, or give them a call, 630-928-0510. I'm thrilled to be joined in studio by Dr. Tara Troy, who has just opened up a brand new GI, gastroenterology, office in Northbrook. Congratulations on that. You are a physician that is an entrepreneur as well, so congratulations.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate you having me on today.
Absolutely. So let's start I'd love to hear a little bit about yourself and about sort of your journey to become a physician first, and then we'll get into the business side of things and why you decided to sort of go off on your own, open a private practice.
Absolutely. So I've been in the Chicagoland area probably since my late teens, I think, and I ended up going to medical school at Rush and then did my residency and fellowship at University of Chicago. I was probably inspired into the field of medicine by my mom, who was a nurse out at Northwest Community Hospital in Arlington Heights, and she was just a wonderful inspiration. Anyway, after University of Chicago, I ended up joining a fantastic private practice up in Lake Forest with 4 other wonderful gentlemen. And I have been practicing there for the last 12 years when I made this decision to make a change.
So you are making a change, and together along for the ride is certainly your family as well. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Well, my family has been incredibly supportive and encouraging. I met my husband, who's also a physician in medical school at Rush.
Wow.
And we have 2 fantastic girls who are 10 and 13, and they have been amazing helps all along the way.
So it's very exciting. It's exciting for you. It's exciting for your entire family. Frankly, it's very exciting for community as well, because we talk a lot about small business on this program, and we talk about the impact that it has on community. And I understand from conversations with you and from the little that I've read that you're doing this for your patients to have an impact. So tell me why you decided to go into this private practice, and why Northbrook?
That's a great question. Well, there were a couple things. One part was that I wanted to create the job that I wanted. A few years ago, we ended up selling our practice and joining one of the large hospital systems. And though these large hospital systems are amazing, they may not be the right fit for those people who have a little bit more entrepreneurial spirit and desire a little bit more that direct connection with patients that I seem to have preferred in that small environment where patients and staff knew one another by names, where we answered our phones and were able to have that, I guess, deeper connection. So I wanted to gravitate towards that again. And I think we could do a better job for the patients in terms of, 1, communication. That was a constant frustration that was mentioned. 2, convenience. 3, just the level of comfort. And then lastly, what the patients seem to have been demanding was a little bit more information on these complementary services that traditional Western medicine hasn't really got on board with, but that patients are interested in, like nutrition, supplements, that mind-gut connection that's important in gastroenterology.
So you are clearly, with the private practice, able to sort of form your own brand, form your own image, and form your own level of commitment and service to your patients, which is really important, which frankly is, as my dad has always said, it's all about widgets. It doesn't matter what line of work you're in a very important line of work in providing care and medicine to your patients. So we've talked a lot about sort of the business angle. We've talked about the community angle. Let's talk about the core practice of what you do, gastroenterology. So first of all, why are you a gastroenterologist? And tell us a little bit about sort of your philosophy and your approach, which it seems to be is coming out very, very clearly in how you conduct yourself and your practice.
Absolutely. Well, gastroenterology wasn't something that I knew I wanted to do from when I was a little kid. However, I did know I wanted to be a doctor. And my mom, thank God she's a hoarder, has that drawing of me when I was 7 years old saying, I want to be a doctor. I can't wait to take care of my first patient. But I think like any other path towards a career, it's a matter of what mentors you interact with and what experience you happen to have had. And at University of Chicago, I had amazing mentors in both GI and liver disease, really interesting patients. And what I found fascinating about the field was that it was really like a diagnostic puzzle. And there were lots of answers that you could actually enact and change people's course. So that's what pulled me into the direction of the GI and liver disease. In terms of what's taken me 12 years later on this path towards private practice and kind of changing my thinking on how to approach things is noticing those patients who really seemed to get that meaningful change in their lives that translated not only into symptom relief, but really wellness. And it exists out there, these evidence-based medicine therapies that are not just pharmaceuticals. It's dietary modifications, it's supplementation, it's treating the mind-gut connection with things like cognitive behavioral therapy and gut-directed hypnotherapy that sound weird, but they are as effective, if not more so, than some of the medications we have to offer.
And as our listeners know, I always love to get a takeaway item for our listeners, something that they can do, that they can implement. That goes really well when we're talking about a marketing tip. I've certainly never been able to actually ask a doctor for a takeaway item. But my guess is, from knowing you a little bit, that you probably have something, that you probably can give a tip and share something with our listeners. What is the one thing that you think our listeners should get out, and whether they own a business or they work a job, that this week that they can do a little different to be a little healthier and to be a little bit more productive?
Well, I think one thing I would do is really stress the importance of food as medicine, and not just what you put inside your mouth, but how you obtain it, how you think about it. I think people should have these amazing relationships with food, and they should have not only the healthy choices, but the preparation and the social environment. And all of those things combined can not only help out with numerous health issues, but also creating better depth and wellness in their lives overall.
That's very important. And we are quickly running out of time, but I wanted to ask as well, if you have a message, a lesson for young students, for young adults that are getting out there, deciding what to do, particularly young women that are deciding on a career path. You chose medicine. You chose gastroenterology. What advice do you have to a young woman that's listening tonight, and it's trying to decide, should I go into medicine? Is it a good career path?
I think it certainly can be. I think one thing that's critical is find those wonderful mentors that can help shape you down the right path. And then the second thing is, if you do go into medicine, recognize how many realms of possibility they are within this one field and find the path that's right for you.
That's very, very helpful. So there has actually been a lot written lately about you and your path into private practice and the impact that hopefully you're going to have on the Northbrook and beyond the North Shore community. Once again, we have Dr. Tara Troy here in studio. How can people learn more about the practice and learn more about you?
Well, the best route would be the wonderful website that's been created, and that's www.compgihealth.com, and that stands for Comprehensive Gastrointestinal Health. And then you can call to schedule appointments at 224-407-4400.
Let's share the website and the phone number one more time.
It is www.compgihealth.com and 224-407-4400.
Well, very, very much appreciate you joining me here in studio. We'll certainly look forward to following your journey. And once again, congratulations to you, to your entire family on this major, major step forward. Looking forward to staying in touch.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, coming up after the break, we've got a treat for you. I'm going to be joined by my good friend, Becky Edelberg, who I'm going to India and to Thailand with Becky. And I want to tell you a little bit about that and the way we are building community, the way we're getting to know other entrepreneurs and other business owners. We'll be talking about that just after the break. As always, you could get on my website, shalomklein.com, to learn more about those trips, to learn more about many networking events, and to download a podcast. We'll be right back and get down to business. You're listening to the show all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. Chicago, don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
How can you get from here to